Hello everyone, Ryan here. Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Recently saw this and it's alright. Of course, if you're not familiar with Jay and Silent Bob or any movies by director Kevin Smith, well-writer director Kevin Smith, then obviously you're probably not going to know what the hell I'm talking about. If you're familiar with the movie Clerks, because Clerks was the first movie that Kevin Smith came out with, wrote and directed. And Clerks is widely hailed as pretty much like Kevin Smith's masterpiece. He's made a number of other movies since then, obviously. Mallrats, Dogma, Jersey Girl, of course, which stars Ben Affleck. But this one, as far as the characters Jay and Silent Bob, they've appeared in a number of his movies. Of course, Kevin Smith plays Silent Bob himself, and yeah, he's called Silent Bob because he doesn't do a whole lot of talking. He does have his moments where he goes off on these really deep monologues. But yeah, otherwise he stays silent. And Jay, played by Jason Mewes, is the talkative one. And he's got his own colloquialisms, slang words, terms, phrases that he uses, and one such thing as snoogans, and which, oddly enough, I don't even know what it means, but a while ago I heard that it's supposed to mean, it's like another word for just saying, everything's cool, everything's alright, or something like that, something along those lines. And so a while ago there was a movie called Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. That one came out sometime in the early 2000s. I don't remember the exact year. But in that one, they find out that because a friend of theirs created a comic book based on them called Madman and Chronic, which, by the way, yes, Jay and Silent Bob, they're supposed to be, pretty much big potheads, stoners, I guess you could say. And it's a big part of who they are. So yeah, their comic book characters, Madman and Chronic, are these superheroes, I guess, who also are big marijuana aficionados, I guess. And so it becomes a popular enough comic book series, and they find out it's getting made into a movie, and they go to Hollywood in order to try to stop it from being made, because for whatever reason, they don't like that characters with their likenesses are going to be turned into a movie, I guess, without their permission and whatnot. So that's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And in this one, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, same thing happens, except where it's they find out that there's going to be a reboot of the Madman and Chronic movie, and they decide that they want to go to Hollywood, try to stop that one from being made, and of course they don't succeed. Or just like in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, they don't really succeed in stopping that first movie from being made either. But they try nonetheless, and and of course along the way they meet interesting people, have a couple of laughs, get involved in some interesting things and whatnot. But in this reboot, in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, it starts off okay. I would say the first half of it I liked. I enjoyed, especially because a lot of characters from previous movies, from Kevin Smith's previous movies, they have cameos in it, like Ben Affleck is in it, Rosario Dawson, Shannon Elizabeth, Matt Damon even has a cameo in it. He returns as a character that he played. So many others, and so yeah, for me it started off fine, but then eventually towards the latter half it turns into, because Jay, he finds out that he fathered a daughter. Shannon Elizabeth's character, because he had met her back in the first Jay and Silent Bob movie, and she was some kind of a jewel thief. And I guess they were dating. They had some kind of relationship, but she went to prison for a while, and I guess she never told him that she was pregnant. So, yeah, it was like something like 16, 17 years later, in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot, Jay finds out he has a daughter. And then out of that, so it turns out that his daughter her first name is Millennium, and her last name, which is the last name that her mom took from, I guess, her ex-husband, which is Falcon. So his daughter is named Millennium Falcon, which is an awesome name. But hell, I'm thinking about, if I ever have a kid, I'm thinking about, I want to push to name him Millennium Falcon. Or Han Solo or something along those lines. I don't know. And so yeah, essentially in the latter half of the movie, Jay tries to connect with his daughter, his estranged daughter, the daughter he never knew he had, and whatnot. And he pretty much just figures out like what the whole fatherhood thing is about. And so, I mean, it starts off like as a typical raunchy kind of comedy, but I mean, really not that raunchy when you compare it to so many other movies nowadays, but still somewhat raunchy, I guess. So the first half is like that, raunchy, like stoner comedy, and then the second half becomes more of a some kind of, I don't know, statement on fatherhood or something like that. So, I mean, I guess technically that is kind of unique, because I haven't really seen that in any other movie. Maybe I have, but nothing that was quite so memorable or. But overall, you know what? It's an okay movie. It's a decent movie. I mean, and of course, Kevin Smith's daughter's in it. I mean, Kevin Smith's actual daughter, she's the one that plays Jay's daughter in this movie. She's the one who plays the character Millennium Falcon. And I would say, yeah, she did a decent job. I mean, she's definitely, I mean, she didn't suck. I mean, as far as acting wise goes, yeah, she's got some decent acting chops, I would say. As far as like all the entire cast, they give decent performances. Actually, I mean, this movie was pretty much what I expected, especially considering it's Jay and Silent Bob, and I wasn't expecting any like serious artsy kind of acting or like but it was all right. Like I said, it was exactly what I expected. So as far as the rating goes, I guess I would give it say a solid 6.5 out of 10. So I did notice, like, when I looked it up, when I googled the movie, a couple of reviews, and I think like overall it has like 5.8 rating or something like that, which that makes sense to me. But still, I would give it 6.5 out of 10, just because, like I said, it was exactly what I expected. There's a lot of cool cameos from a lot of actors. And then the fact that Jay's daughter is named Millennium Falcon, so that's a big plus for me. Me being a huge Star Wars fan, so yeah, that does it for my review of Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. As always, see you next time. Don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.